for some time now. I would say a good 13, 14 years of editing. Um, and it's been only about a year and a half since I've been actually shooting videos, but I've been editing and post for about 13 years, man. So that's where the love came from with that art, you know. I'm very pretty much inspired, man, by a lot of great leaders coming up, man. People that I was able to take from and be able to add to myself. So I'm all about bringing change, man, in any way possible that I can do, man. For the betterment of not just myself, but for the betterment of our people.
And let me just also invite people to follow you on Instagram. So we have it also on the banner, Freedom of NC on Instagram, if you want to follow James and know more about his work. And you told me about leaders and being inspired by leaders, and you have an amazing wall behind you. And tell me more
Oh,
about
thank
that
you.
and what it means to you. Who are them? Who are those leaders behind you?
Um,
And why do we have that?
well, history has always been big, bro, to me. My dad has always been that studious learner, and I guess it was just kind of shifted to me. My dad was a writer, a poet, and I first began to start learning about Malcolm X and learning about Noble Drew Ali and ML. I was learning about MLK in school. Everybody was, but like a lot of these people that you don't really hear about in schools, Marcus Garvey, these guys, man, that really kind of paved the way for for us to be here, man. So I really look at these guys of being icons. These guys being a leader and that was willing to be able to stand out and just really kind of be right there, standing tall in what they believed in, regardless of what the world was going through and the situations that they was going through within society. These guys just stood tall and they did the unknown. And I really compared myself to that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been that person of thinking outside of the box. I was brought up in a Christian uh family. Like I said, my father was a studious learner. And me and my sister was in some way kind of forced to go to church at times. And a little later on, my father started dibbing and dabbing and reading the Qurans, and then he'd dibble and dabble and reading the Book of Mormon. Like he was into a lot of stuff. And at that time I wasn't really into it. I played a musical instrument and I started playing drums, and then I began to start playing piano by ear. But it was just something about my father, man, and that's what kind of really gave me that spark of like wanting to know who these great people was, and I got a chance of just kind of reading up on them and just really just looking at their lives and the lives that they reflect to a lot of the millions of people around the world nationwide. I'm like, wow, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to stand for that. And I throughout the years, I just had to really kind of I had to find where I fit in. I mean, I know I couldn't be another Malcolm X. I couldn't be another Noble Drew Ali and these guys like that, but I had to fit in where I can fit in at, man. And I believe I found that niche, and that's within film.
And it's one powerful thing you just said. And let me also acknowledge our viewers, because we have Brooke Shipman who sent us a message. So thank you, Brooke. And we also have Prince Shipman. You the man, you the man, James. So God give you. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you for being with us. So you were just saying about the that thing of having a curiosity and a need to know more about Black history beyond
Right.
MLK, so where it's more common and taught on school, and this is something we also discussed with other guests before in our channel. Um, is it why is it only MLK or two or three names who are very much highlighted, and I can follow from Mozambique. We can follow on our movement saying Black history always and trying to really push an agenda that it's not just
With
one
the
month
right,
here.
right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
So
I
so how is that evolving there right now?
I mean, it's always been I would say, just to tap in with the question that you're asking, it's always kind of been that question of, why are these only the same, the same ones we always hear about. I've heard it all my life coming up throughout school. I have four little girls, three of them in school, so they hear it as well. So I think it's our job to be able to take it beyond that and be able to educate our young kids on who these great people are. My daughter come in my room all the time when I'm working, and she'll just sometimes look up on the wall, and and what I do a lot of times, I try to teach her different things, and then she'll ask, who is that? I'm like, that's Angela Gay, you know what I'm saying? Or, who is that? And just try to, it's all about just really educating, educating our youth, and knowing that it's beyond just that one man. MLK did some great, phenomenal things, but behind his work, I mean, you got to look at a lot of other great leaders that came before him, after him, that really shook up this world, man. And the school system in some way is just it's a bit watered down. I'm just gonna tell you how I see it, man. It's just a bit of watered down when it comes down to history, because it's not teaching our kids the ultimate truth or the reality and the stability of what history is about, you know, and it's all about them giving their truth. Doesn't mean that it's the full entire truth, but it's all about, we're gonna teach you about Christopher Columbus and how he discovered the world, and and they don't go beyond that, and I feel that if you want to know true history, you got to know the good and the bad, and here in America, we had the good and the bad. This country here has a lot of blood on its hands for many, many years. And we just got to call it how we see it, man. So even stepping outside of that, using film and using entertainment to twine in what the people need to know, what the masses need to know about what's really been going on, and we got to make it appealing, make it, make it very entertaining. Our kids is entertainment, that's all they about, so with this film and learning more about this film, I try to make this film so much appealing, so entertaining, where those two or three, those youth that's watching it, I want to catch them like that. But while they're watching it, I want to educate the minds, and I want to give them a chance to be able to kind of rethink certain things when after they see this film, or even question themselves, their perspectives, their views, and how they see the world. But most of all, this film speaks of identity, knowing who you are, knowing yourself, and one of our slogans that we have for the film is basically said that our history didn't begin with slavery. We always, you know it's like we don't go past that, and a lot of it deals with a little bit of school, because they don't really teach too much about slavery. I mean, they teach a little bit about it, but they don't talk about what happened before then, us being kings and queens and ruling this land. They don't talk about the ancient Kemet, the writings on the wall, and they don't talk about none of that. So I think it's our job as teachers, mentors, parents, whoever we call ourselves to be able to educate